one, and you should be going.
Oh, welcome back to the other one, Oasis Valley Mysteries. It's been a few months, but previously we left off with the beginning of a new mystery as Hanzo, now forced to work with a co-worker known as Agent Wakefield, had to respond to a endofauna incident as it seemed a small family of jackal-lizards had moved in and decided to eat their fill of the butcher shop known as the Regular Expedition Deli. The You're able to capture and subdue the jackal-lizards as they were gathered up and shipped off back to Pluripotent for reintroduction to this end of the superorganism, first and study to see how they how they got out, possibly related to the previous entry that the vultures had used, pointed out to you in the mystery of the rawhead bloody bones. But as that was going on, across town, there was another party member having their own experience with the jackal lizard. As Fred Kutzman, getting ready for his kids to show up the next day, discovered that there was a large albino lizard clambering around his new domicile, the shared home with Winifred, who is out for the night at work, or he believed, as he called in Olivia, since she was known for animal control. But on her way in, it was discovered that this lizard was actually Winifred, having developed the ability to shapeshift into this new form as well. And the pair decided to lay a joke for Olivia, who arrived only to discover that the corner jackal lizard was in fact her friend, Winifred.
I could have hurt you.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
I guess we'll need to help for this mystery.
Well, stop doing that. But as afterwards, Hanzo and Johanna were alerted to I think it was Johanna or Johanna, I can't remember what they said originally, whatever. But you were alerted to another incident as it seemed another endofauna specimen seemed to have escaped to the surface as a mole tortoise surfaced within the backyard of some unlucky sap's backyard, dismantling his recently installed jacuzzi before the mole tortoise, lingering long enough just for the trailer park residents to snap Polaroids of it before it submerged and resumed digging somewhere around underneath Redemption. Group kind of converged there. Olivia, you noticed that there was a commotion there and decided to check it out as well. Fred and Winifred, I can't remember why you were there, but you were there as well.
They were heading up the Falcon Lake Witness, I do believe. Or at least that is the same trailer park the Witness is at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were finished up investigating that turtle pit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I just can't remember why you were all there, and I'm suddenly blanking. It's like a hole. Anyways.
But by a giant tortoise?
Well, yes, but no, I can't. Anyways, while you were there, Fred, you discovered a discarded scale. Got chewed out a bit by the police and for crossing a danger line, but you were able to keep it. And Johanna took a sample, deciding to see if there was anything odd about it. Maybe sickness had driven it, and see if those at Pluripotent would be able to figure it out. Can't really remember what else we did. But what's important is today, Fred It has been the next day. How early would have Fred gotten up? Because your kids aren't due to arrive until like noonish. Right now it's around like 11, so they're you're waiting for them at the bus
6
depot.
a.m.
But
6 a.m.
uh,
6 a.m. Going over, making sure everything is as good as possible. Really, it's less like he got up at 6 a.m. and more like he had a half-hour nap after his shift ended.
well,
And he got home.
oh, you actually had the day off. That was something we established.
Awesome. Still got up at 6 a.m. on less sleep than he should because he's still on a night guard schedule.
Yeah.
And he's not in his fucking 20s. He can't just change that shit on a dime. Waking up at 6 a.m., going over cleaning the house and making sure everything is as spotless as possible. Trying to make sure the presents are prominently displayed and they're all accounted for and ready for his kids. That he's got as many snacks as he could afford and good things for them to eat. That he can cook. Just really like spending all these hours as anxiety ridden as possible to make things as good for his kids as he can. And then getting to the airport, I would say about 3 hours before their flight arrives. To
There's
make
actually
sure
not
he's
like a major airport. There's like a small airfield in Redemption, but there is like
where are they coming from?
a bus depot.
Getting to the bus depot a good 3 hours before they're scheduled to arrive, just to make sure he does not arrive late. And then most likely napping in the bus depot and getting pickpocketed, and intermittently like waking up between sleeping. It is Fred. It can't go well.
I won't say you got pickpocketed. That might be a little too mean for your kids to show up. But there is a moment where you wake up and you think you are being pickpocketed. Do you think Fred carries like little snacks with him? Like, would he have like a snack on him or like something for the kids?
Absolutely, yeah. He's got like a bag of almonds.
Oh yeah. So it feels like something's like tugging at your pocket, and you think that maybe someone's trying to pickpocket. But when you open your eyes, there is a little burrowing owl, just tugging, trying to pull out this bag of almonds. But it sees you, its eyes go wide, and it flutters off. And you realize that there were like two others sitting by your feet who were just watching, waiting, and they just scatter.
Yeah, that's right.
That
I'll
time
fuck
we were
you up,
mugged by
birds.
owls.
But you're sitting at the Bassettown bus depot, waiting for the arrival. Winifred, Fred was very active when you were probably getting off your shift and going to bed, or trying to get to bed.
Yeah.
So, how's Winifred feeling about this?
She knows it's important to Fred that everything's good for his kids. So she isn't going to pull any pranks about it. She's just going to go to sleep and wait for the kids to actually be in her house before she terrifies them.
Yeah, it's harder to terrify someone when you're wandering around with a Joseph's multi-technicolor umbrella.
Yeah.
Dream umbrella.
You can terrify them if they're a Republican.
God. Wait, if there's a setting with vampires, would there be a vampire production of Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat, but it's the Technicolor Dream umbrella? I'm thinking too hard about this.
Yeah, Winifred started it.
You gotta stop mentioning umbrellas.
Oh, God. All right. It just grows in you like a parasite, right?
Like Batman.
No. The sad thing is Maple Samurai will get those jokes now and they'll be very sad.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So
We appreciate Samurai.
Fred, you were waiting for your kids. We'll get back to you. Just while we cover see what everyone else is up to during the morning. Not to keep drawing out the suspense.
That's good.
But who wants to say what they've been doing for the day? Because it's I'd say it's probably like I can't remember what I said yesterday was. So yeah, let's say it's like start of the weekend. It's a Friday. Kids were happy because it let them take off
Day of
wait, no, this
school.
would be summer vacation. So
Day of
Friday, so Olivia's probably at work.
Mhm.
um Olivia, it's a pretty average day. No real there wouldn't have been any calls out to nothing, no animal control calls yet, but you've been working around the preserve.
She's been listening for those like a hawk. It's like,
Oh yeah.
Or I mean, like a bat.
Nah. Yeah, because being animal control, it would be a good way to keep track of these kind of incidents. But thankfully, nothing's come up. There is like a lot of chatter around. It's like, did you hear there's like jack lizards and mole tortoises loose? Just random chatter around. But actually, this is a perfect time. Olivia, there's a moment where it's probably middle of the morning. You're walking behind the scenes. You like down a hallway, probably just going from one task to another. When you walk past George Lyon, the manager of the preserve. He's on. You walk past his office and you hear him on the phone. Like his door, his door is normally kind of partially open, but you hear him on the phone, and he's just sounds exasperated. And he goes, "No, we've told you before. Lucia's told you before. That is not why the preserve exists, and you know it. We've just." Yes, I understand the opening's coming, and the preserve is a big part of that. But they, people are going to be satisfied. What we have not. You can't just or place. You know what? Talk to your sister. And George just hangs up the phone. Now this you rarely see George frustrated outside of like when it comes to people mistreating animals. But he's when he's dealing with other people, he is a very nice man. He's a very calm and collected, and he almost never raises his voice. And you've never heard of him like hanging up on somebody like that.
Olivia's gonna like knock on the door.
What? Sorry. Hi, Olivia. As he kind of spins around in his
Hey.
chair.
Um,
I thought I closed that door. Whoops. It seems to dawn on him that you probably heard that, at least his side of the conversation.
yeah, I wasn't trying to.
No,
Listen in,
that's
but
my bad.
it makes you feel better. I don't think anyone else came by.
Well, that's good. I don't want to ruin my, reputation. Kind of gives a chuckle at that. But
Your secret's safe with me.
so, what can I help you with, Olivia?
What can I help you with?
And he kind of does this exasperated side. He goes, "You heard some of what I was saying." So,
I heard enough.
yes, it seems. Got motions for you to close the door. Like step inside and close the door behind you.
She does.
And she goes, "Well, I know about Lucia's family. So I was her brother, the twin, or no, not the
Oh.
twin, the older brother." And you
Yeah.
realize he's talking about the fucking CEO of Pluripotent.
The fucking CEO of Blurple called you.
Yep, Kieran Jr. Kieran Fossick Jr. The current CEO, and he sighs and nods. He goes, "Yep." seems to think that Preserve would be a big publicity draw if we started, cloning some more interesting things than just helping endangered populations. Like, oh, he kept bringing up the thylacine success story, saying that, well, what if we start, what if we beat the Russians and got a mammoth or mastodon clone before they could? Just throws up his hands. We're in a desert. That's not going to work.
Also, like, it's not a fucking competition.
And speaking to him, it sounds like it. But that's what I'm trying to explain to him, and I certainly hope Lucia can do better. But
Maybe I don't know. You know how I feel about player opponent.
damn it, sorry, I saw the chat. TT derailed my thought pattern for a second there.
I feel like we've talked about this.
Talk about what?
If Jurassic Park came out at this point.
Oh yeah. Jurassic Park, the movie was 94. I think the novel came out. That's not how you spell novel. I started taping
I think the novel.
Oh,
I think the
1990.
novel was. Yeah, I was going to say that was either 1990 1991.
Yeah. So yeah. It's like
Yeah. What?
fucking Michael Crichton book.
They need a Jurassic Park up in here?
I mean, ever since that Crichton book, yeah. But I mean, he's not wrong in one sense that if this reopening does go well, and Reserve's going to be a big part of it, considering and that would be for us more foot traffic. That means more income independent of Pluripotent's budget, and that better goodwill. I mean, and future people, like your case. I don't remember the day you came in specifically, but just ask many of the people working here. A lot of you came in as a kid on some school trip, and were like, "Well, I'm going to work there." So,
yeah.
but anyways, thank you for listening to my gripe at the very least.
We can. We can't just cook up animals for people's enjoyment. It's not why we're here.
John
I mean,
Hammond
at least-
sneezes.
I
He
would
goes-
I punch John Hammond in the face.
And he just goes, at least he didn't even, at least one thing I can say for him, he's never asked me like some of the other rich assholes that have called going, how much for, to clone a tiger for a party's menu.
Ugh.
It won't even taste good.
It's a well-known fact the rich don't have taste.
Yeah,
Well, they
I'm
did come from the
specifically-
British.
The funny, well, I was going to say the funny thing is about the Fossics, they're Australian, but I just said they don't do that. But yeah, British probably would. Oh wait,
The poacher.
the thing that I was referencing was there was this obscure, there was this show I watched where there was like a soup, the 1% like extravagant rich people party, and they literally had a cooked tiger as like part of the menu, and I just thought of that. But then I thought about the guy throwing the party, the super rich guy who hired the main character to investigate his own murder. He was British 300 years prior. So yeah, it was the British who would cook up a tiger for a
Oh my
party.
god.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Well,
the mysteries of my mind.
well, it's already not looking amazing for the opening.
So Sorry, what was that, Nor?
Shit already doesn't look amazing for the opening.
No, yeah, I heard there was some jackal lizards attacks. There was a mole tortoise that,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure pluripotent's loving that. And he's like, you see the news? See the newspaper this morning?
Well, no, what?
And he pulls out the newspaper and he hands it to you. And the front page, the headline, it's not involving the mole tortoise. He's like, oh, wait, no, flip it over. And it's like beneath it, and there's like a smaller like side article. And you see one of a photo that you recognize from one of the Polaroids that Estella would have had uh, gotten, lent to Sheila. As you see, the article, the byline says, it's written by Sheila Riggy, and it says, "Endofauna appearances plague redemption overnight and haunt pluripotent's hopes for reopening."
Ooh.
And it just goes on to talk about, the just
I hate that.
it just very briefly mentions the appearance of a mole tortoise and a jackal lizard, and talks about briefly like the escape of the macro swarm and the deaths associated with that, and how there's been like recently some due to and she goes, sources say that it may be related to recent poacher activity of a known poaching ring active exploiting the superorganism. But there is that comment. It's like, but what does that mean for pluripotent security? Definitely not putting pluripotent in a good light.
Yeah. Well, I bet they love those.
Oh yes, guess I would not be surprised if that's partly why he called me this morning, to see if we could distract with some of that, being like, "Oh look, we're bringing back some charismatic extinct animal." Like, I mean, that's fully why we did the thylacines in the first place. There, tension grabbing, and there are more recent extinctions, so there was still some genetic material that was left around, but there's
I
a
know
reason
we're,
why we only got one moa out there. We only had the one sample.
I know we're, we still have to run off of the money we have, but yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. It's
Frustrating.
managerial problems. But don't let me keep you from whatever you. Oh, sorry, what?
Let me know if there's anything I can do, boss.
Yeah, of course. Keep up the good work, Olivia.
I try. Stuff's been rough lately.
And you've been handling it pretty well, I think. But
She reaches down and pats the leg that was bitten by the macro swarm. They cost me this time. Or last time.
and he gets that look that you've seen many times, where he's just like, he looks like he's about to like warn you about needing to be safe before once again realizing I've said this many times. She knows. So you get the message from the expression. That kind of like language you get from it, having worked with someone for several years now.
Yeah. I know. I'm not going out of my way to get hurt.
That's a relief.
Do you think I am?
Well, no, I mean, I would. That's not what I meant. But, anyways, and yes, I've got stuff to do. I'm sure you do as well. And you see the phone, the like line, like there's a call waiting. The light starts flashing. And he goes, "I really hope that's not him again."
feels the motion
But
of like, go ahead towards the phone,
yeah,
and she'll turn.
he goes, well, have a good day, Olivia.
You too.
And you depart, and he answers the phone, and the from his relief sigh, it seems that it's someone else
Okay, good.
as you close the door behind you. But so yeah, you have a fairly normal day at work. Nothing really significant happens. Tommy,
Eh,
what's your day like? What have you been doing this morning? Just your normal, or you got anything planned?
nothing special, just his normal routine. Yeah.
Okay, so
And,
probably
yeah.
hanging out around Carlos's, the diner. Um,
Enjoy the calm moments while you got them. You know the feel.
yeah, and uh, Carlos, you would notice this too since you work there. It's your business, but the twins have been a lot more present at the diner the last week or so since the last incident. The mom's not really letting them go off on their own too much or for very long. It's only now that you see that Carl or Tommy, when you walked up, you see their bikes are at the thing rather than the previous times where mom drove them there, or they came with her in the car when she came into for her shift. But
Carlos has said nothing because he likes having an employee and one that doesn't bite his head off.
Yeah. And yeah, it's Carlos. You got anything planned? You did take that little piece of the tissue sample.
I've got it, but until knowing that Fred's got his kids coming, and if I start investigating without Fred, he'd be upset.
Not in
Not
this
like
case,
a
I don't think.
well. In any case, he would feel like he would upset people if he was doing it with kids coming in town, and maybe a little spooked after what happened with, Carlos' kids. So he's probably actually more over at the animatronic ride trying to get the stupid mechanical Siandra ready to go.
Okay. And there's actually you do know someone that would probably be very helpful in getting custom pieces made for it. You do know someone who owns a scrapyard and does metal sculptures.
He's probably been there at least 3 times.
Yeah, so
You want me to start going that way?
no, I was just saying, it was just something that it popped into my head literally this morning where I was thinking about the game, getting stuff ready in my head. I was just like, oh yeah, Carlos has been really into making that Sandra. It's like there is someone who makes, metal monstrosities, not literally, but sculptures. So, yeah, it was just something I was just gonna say, she's probably been, you've probably gone to the scrapyard and talked to Denise a couple of times, consulting or ordering pieces. There's going to be a custom skull piece, probably.
It's a custom skull piece. I mean, if you want to, it can be one of those things where we start off pretty much him working on it, and as many things mechanical go, there's a small line of swear words coming out of it as he goes to the phone to call her and be like, "Hey, I need a help with a spot weld job. Can you come over here?"
Okay. So that was probably earlier. And Tommy, you see one of the scrapyard trucks is there, parked over at the ride. I don't know why I blanked on that very simple word. But yeah, she shows up. She's happy to lend a hand. She seems excited. She's like, when you first explained it to her, she was like, "Oh shit, you need help?" Like she offered without needing to ask for it straight up.
Yeah. He took it because he's no fool. He is many things, but mechanical engineering is something that is a new hobby of his.
I can't wait for one of us to go. Can't you just wizard it?
That's how you get haunted animatronics, and I am not going for that copyright infringement.
Nah, you gotta stuff the bodies and the animatronics to get haunted.
Yeah, I don't know what happens in Five Nights at Freddy's, so I I know like
Don't get me
nothing.
started.
There's plenty of ways to get haunted with animatronics without having to stuff a child inside one.
Yeah, I mean, in Willy's Wonderland, they're
killers from,
possessed by Satanists.
Yeah,
Serial killers, even.
I love Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, you get to see Nick Cage get ready to throw down the head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Mhm.
But so she's Tommy. You can drop in if you want. Carlos, yeah, I don't want to speak for Carlos, but Tommy pretty much has a free invite to come hang out in the ride sometimes, right?
I have asked him several times to sleep on the couch because it's got to be better than down there, and he has refused every time.
Mm-hmm.
I got my shit down in the sewers. It's fine.
You just gotta bring it up, man.
Yeah, and it's literally like not far from where this place is, so it's even funnier. She's like, "That's not worth the effort." It's like you're literally just like half a block away,
Have you tried lifting a couch? It's awful.
especially uphill.
How the fuck do you have a couch in the sewers?
Well, I gotta make it comfy somehow. What, am I, a savage?
You know people who will just leave perfectly fine couches on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Or toilets in the middle of the Dune Sea. Hold on. Anyways, continue.
Okay, hold on. I want to continue, but you said toilets in the middle of the Dune Sea, and now I'm interested.
Yeah, hold on.
in
I
the
found it. There's a video. This isn't going to be good audio drama for the thing, but here I posted it in random junk.
Okay.
A motorcyclist gets attacked by an invasive species.
I hate it when that happens.
I'm gonna watch this on my phone so I don't fuck up the audio on the thing.
Yeah, it's
He's as confused as the rest of us.
yeah, it's like just that little what as he crashes into it.
Yeah, that feels like a cryptid that would exist in Oasis Valley.
It's actually a giant hermit. It's actually a giant hermit crab.
That the porcelain crab. Oh wait, there are porcelain crabs. That's literally a species. Anyways, we're getting way off topic. I'm sorry. It's been a while. So, Tommy, you're free to drop in if you want. But,
yeah, he'll be listening. And
okay. Yeah, Denise is there. She's got her welder's mask on, and she's soldering the points that you needed. Since she's like showing you how to do it, but she's like, we'll get you some training on something that's not going to be final product like this.
That's fair.
So she's doing she's not dragging your skill. She's just saying some of the more complicated stuff you want a more experienced hand doing, which is why you called her.
Yes.
But so yeah, she's just like, so anything supernatural happen? She's just like making chatter as she's welding.
Nothing supernatural. There's a giant gopher tortoise running around. You probably read it if you read the newspaper today.
Oh yeah, I saw something about that.
Yeah, it's like a tortoise, but the size of a minivan.
Oh yeah, I think I saw something about that when I, up at the museum. Or wait, and she like kind of like leans lifts up the mask and was like, "What are those?" and points at the animatronic in the distance.
Yeah, like there's like a tortoiseshell. It's like, yeah, I kind of started whipping that together after seeing it. Got a little inspired, or at least the
And she squints
pictures.
and she goes, "Is that originally a giant snail?"
Yeah, yeah,
It works though.
it works. I got to do a little more detailing on the shell pattern because otherwise people will look at it and go, "Oh, that's a giant snail." I think if I do close enough to the lines on a tortoise's shell, we'll be good.
But hopefully, doesn't dig around anywhere that's going to cause a sinkhole for anybody.
Hit trailer park.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel silly about saying that after they literally said that in the newspaper. But
Oh, you're good. No worries. I've been stressed out about my own stuff, so I get it.
oh, you know what's funny? I actually got. She goes, "I'm gonna guess this is to do with the She goes, speaking of the newspaper, I'm guessing this is to do with the pluripotent's big revitalization plans or whatever they're calling it."
Oh, technically yes, but also no. Um, so you know how Chamber of Commerce hates my ass, right?
They hate a lot of us.
They hate a lot of us, to be fair. They're kind of like little edgelords in that way. But we're not gonna worry about that too much. Um, so they put out that big revitalization project, and I'm like, this is the perfect time to do it because they keep on giving me these silly letters of tarnishing the town's reputation with my cheap and outdated ride that isn't quite working. So
Well, sorry.
It's enough motivation for me to get up and actually get this done. I've been meaning to retheme it around, the flesh pit since I got it.
I mean, makes sense. I was even gonna say, uh, I think they're a little too important for us, but uh, guess what? I actually got a commission from Pluripotent. They want a sculpture for one of the, for a lobby or something.
Oh,
Got to
nice.
make some, endofauna myself.
Sweet. Get that. Get that dough. They're gonna
Oh yeah,
pay you.
I mean,
If they're gonna
I'm just. It's like,
if they're gonna charge you for it, get it.
oh yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a big order. They want something impressive. They said they're still hashing out details, but it's gonna keep me busy.
I can imagine. But good on you. I know we pal around with Hanzo a lot, but like, genuinely, nickel and dime 'em for everything you can.
Oh, I will be. Oh, I will be. She kind of like, as she's like finishes up one of the welds, she lifts up her mask, looks at it, nods in approval, then just, so how about you, Tommy?
Hmm? What up?
Full moon's coming up, and remember, you got an open invitation from the pack.
So long as there's not some sort of bullshit going on, I'll be over.
Oh yeah, totally fair.
Yeah. Have a
But
hunch that this turtle thing's going to go south in one way or another.
I mean, it's just one turtle and some lizards that got scooped up.
You should knock on wood. Knock on wood right now.
She looks around. She goes, "I'm surrounded by metal."
Fuck!
You
No,
see like Carlos dive into the mouth or the rough mouth
Oh,
mechanics are,
no.
and like knock
This is-
on a piece of wood inside.
Oh, I was joking, and she lifts up like a hammer that's in her toolkit and knocks on the wooden handle. She's like, Uh, right, I forgot. Superstitions are like real important for you magic types, right?
It can be. We haven't had the best of luck lately.
I mean,
I'm just glad
you're
Moss
all
is.
alive, right?
Yeah, and there was some times where we almost weren't. So
I
we did.
still have the grenade.
Why the fuck do you still have the grenade?
Oh my
What do you
god!
mean? I didn't hear that. We have enough problems with illegal fireworks here, but I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Good
It,
plan.
well,
Good
it,
plan.
it was from our gang wars. Um,
Uh, oh yeah, Phil did say something about the coyotes. Oh, those assholes.
yeah. Um, but no, I'm not the most worried about that right now. I'm more worried about like as much as like and I've probably been a little too hard on her, but also I'm just really paranoid about Moss coming out here. It's been 3 or 4 years since I moved out here, maybe 5 now, and they haven't come out once, and I'm not wanting to risk that.
Okay, you said Moss, so I was wondering if that's like someone's name, but then you started talking about them like they're an organization.
They're the worst kinds of wizards, bureaucrats,
Ugh.
That should not surprise me as much as it does.
right? But
Well,
I'm just saying, every time they come out of like, it's when you least suspect it. Always terrible timing, and then they want you to fill out like 300 fucking reports.
Excuse me, could you fill these out for me?
magical paperwork. That sounds like hell.
You, it's not any different than normal paperwork. Is the worst part.
Can't you use like some sort of magic to make the pin move on its own?
He like pauses. He's like, I kind of resented Mickey Mouse for a while for that, but I've never actually tried.
Referencing Fantasia.
Yes, Carlos saw it in theaters.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Fucking old ass man.
He's only 82. Not that old.
Well,
Olivia's
uh,
mother at home.
Denise just goes, well, good luck with that. Hopefully, to dry out here for Moss. I don't know. She kind of laughs as she
Oh, I
kind of
like that. I'm gonna use
herself
that.
up to her feet.
I'm gonna use that next time. Sometimes you can banish them if you're clever.
I hate to inform
well,
you. I hate to burst that little bubble of yours, but you live in the Oasis. It's not too dry.
Yep. The
Don't
particularly lush part of the desert.
Carlos doesn't have to pretend that they know what that. They're just gonna go, oh, he's in Arizona. That's a pain in the ass to get to, right? Right.
Mm.
Right? No one's gonna tattle on you. No.
Yeah, should have background stuff. Anyways, so she goes, well, if that was all the help you needed right now, Carlos, I gotta get going, but if feel free to call me up if you need any more help.
Yep. Just let me know when you get that big skull part done. I can get that attached, and then I can start making the latex skin.
All right. Should have that done, within the week.
Perfect. Awesome. Good luck
So-
nickeling and diming them.
Oh, thank you. It's going to be fun. You two have a good one. See you
You
later,
too.
Carlos. Tommy.
Hmm.
And she goes into parts. So, anything else that you two of you want to discuss before we move on?
Nothing I can think of. Carlos?
I'm trying to think if there is. I'm struggling to come up with
Oh,
anything.
hold on, someone's knocking on my door.
Knock, knock, knocking on your chamber door. Get out of here, Bane! Back to your pit!
I need to be on Oasis really mystery.
No!
It's on my bucket list. I need to be on the show.
Be gone, thought!
Don't call me a thought. Why don't we make a new word for loose women? We have too many as it is.
You're the loosest woman around, Bane.
I know, I'm very, very sexual, and I enjoy it quite a bit, and I don't think that's a character flaw.
Jesus H. Christ, JD.
I'm gonna take my mini skirt and go. And I want to be on the show with you guys. It's bad.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
He-
Grandpa was knocking to tell me food got delivered.
PP went full Bane.
I could hear.
Time sensitive. But Olivia would like to talk to Carlos at some point.
Okay.
Well, you know where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just wanted to see what Hanzo's up to on his day off, because you're going to meet Fred and his kids later that night for the dinner, because they want some time to hang out themselves for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your day to yourself. What have Hanzo done?
Well, for the most part, he is relaxing and also mentally preparing himself for socialization.
Getting the spoons in order.
Yes, exactly that.
I know how that goes.
Yeah.
Like, I have something planned at 5. It's 11. I can't do anything for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But so,
Of course, he's still thinking about the current mystery, but he's also on his day off.
yeah, there hasn't. Yeah, you have a set off, but you know that when mysteries happen, that can sometimes mean you have to take your day off on another day. But so far, no one's called in. No one's called you up. Your phone's been mercifully silent. Your pager as well. But would you have gone to Carlos for your coffee as usual? Just see if
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Hanzo, if you wanted to chat with Carlos and Tommy for a bit, but that would also be convenient timing for Olivia if you wanted to show up as well.
Yeah.
Not to cut
it's perfect.
your Hanzo if you wanted to do something first. But okay. Yeah, I just wanted to give everyone a chance to say what they wanted if they had anything they wanted to do. It's been a while. But yeah, so Hanzo, you're there with getting breakfast and coffee, and Olivia shows up. Carlos, it's probably not long after Denise left.
Yes.
Yeah, Olivia's gonna show up and see him and make her way towards him.
I would say that Carlos is probably, if it's in the diner, it's on the lunch break, or he's out in the backyard.
She goes to the backyard first.
Okay.
She'll peek around. Carlos?
Hold on a second. If I move wrong, this thing's gonna fall on my head.
What the fuck? she'll run over and like,
Tommy's sitting there in the background as Carlos is like tightening a giant spring, probably like a garage door spring. Oh, hey Olivia, what's up?
she runs over and like braces against the thing to like, just give it some support while you're doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Lord, Carlos, you don't just fucking stand under something that could fall and crush you.
Yeah, you do if you get a little spicy. I kid. That's why I have Tom.
No. You say that, Olivia does not roll up on her face like, yeah, you too.
I have Tommy here in case if anything happens.
Hello.
Oh, hey Tommy, how you holding up?
You know.
You're welcome to my place for dinner.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, what brings you?
I wanted to talk to you.
Okay.
Nothing. It's nothing serious. I just, with everything that happened with Rawhead. I'll show a lower voice with Rawhead. You seemed eager's not the right word, but
Delicious.
Nutritious.
Oddly familiar or callous, right?
yes.
It's not the first time.
That's what I'm not afraid of, but that's what I was expecting.
And he says that kind of lightheartedly a little bit, in the I'm joking with you kind of a thing.
Yeah. She looks looks him in the eye. But
I apologize if I got a little intense. Those kids are technically my responsibility, and I'm not a fan of when supernatural creatures from one part of my life decide to start messing with the normal part of my life.
I mean, is that a consistent problem for you?
There's a reason I don't stay in a town more than 5 years usually.
How long have you been here now?
5 years.
Oh shit. You're not planning on getting up and to get out of it, are you?
No, I've got too much money put into this son of a gun, he says, slapping the giant.
He's not leaving until Moss finds him.
The sunk cost fallacy in
The
effect.
sunk cost fallacy of I took a $40,000 loan and I don't need a bank chasing after my ass for it.
In 92 money.
In 92 money.
God, oh my god.
I bought a dual commercial property. What do you think?
To be fair, in 1992 money, that is a lot, but you can also pay it back without being in debt for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. God. I don't want to rant about pricing changes because my grandpa told me how much him and my grandma paid for their first house when it like a brand new just built house, and how much it was back then, how much they sold it for, how much it was, and then how much he checked it like 10 years ago, and then just probably how much ridiculous it would be modern day, and it just made me mad. I had to go walk away. It's just like that's so frustrating.
Yes.
I remember
Yeah.
that house being a really young kid. It's like some of my earliest memories being in that house. And it wasn't a big house. It was a very modest house. But then 10 years ago it was already like 200,000. I'm just like, and you bought it for 13,000
Ugh.
and sold it for 17,000.
Gross.
It's just like, oh god.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Now, so you're
capitalism to
stuck with
spare.
you're stuck with me, Olivia. Unless if Moss gets me, and then if Moss gets me, we're fucked, and you can't really do anything about that.
The fuck's a moss?
Oh right, I forget you're normie.
He flips him off.
Grows on rocks.
Hanzo, you could have probably taken your coffee and followed people back there just hanging out too. I don't want to exclude you from hanging out.
He is in fact he's present in the conversation. He's just sitting in the back sipping coffee.
Well, they're out back by the ride, so it'd be like you and Tommy sitting off to the side just chilling, listening to them chatter.
Look, right. So I forget you're a normie sometimes. The Mystics Offices of Supernatural Services is the United
That
States.
fucking wizard bureaucracy.
There's fucking wizard bureaucracy.
Why is
It's
there
why.
fucking
It's
wizard
why I tell you.
bureaucracy?
It's why I tell you not to blab about it because I don't want to deal with all the fucking paperwork.
And
Also,
I
because
haven't told anyone.
you haven't, and I'm not worried. And I'm less worried about it than I was before. But I'm just saying, they've got ears everywhere. Literally, I sat on one once on a subway back in 1953. It was gross.
You're over 100 years old?
1953 was 30
I said
years ago.
1853.
No, I said 1953. They didn't have subways in 1853. I'm not that
I'm
old.
sure you said 1853.
No,
I am-
19.
All right.
Discord.
18, 13, they're the same.
How old are you really, Carlos?
Older than dirt, it feels like. I'm only I think I told you the other day, I'm like 82? 83?
Well, I mean, you age gracefully.
Q. I try.
So is that well, I mean, obviously it's a magic thing, but like, are you like actively doing a spell on yourself for that, or
As far as I know, it's wizard bullshit.
so it just comes with being a wizard?
Yeah, for the most part.
God, what a fucking ripoff!
Yeah, kind of.
God, I had to get people always gauge me for younger, and I had to get on fucking prescriptions for that.
I mean, hey, fair enough. Nothing wrong with appearing young. Nothing wrong with being old either, though. You know what I mean?
So,
Yeah, I'm not dreading getting older.
sorry,
Oh, hey, Hanzo, when did you get here?
Just want to interject for a second about the subway in 1850. Subway started going into circulation literally in London in the 1860s. So 1853 is literally just slightly too early for subways to have existed.
Oh my god.
But the first American one was opened in New York in 1904.
So
Sorry.
Oh, you're
so
good.
you're good.
A wizard in Europe? Crazy.
I bet they're really racist.
You would be. It is a little disappointing how much.
Fuck. Really?
Don't put that on me.
I'm,
Don't make me do that.
well, no, it's. So I'm talking about European ones. We're not gonna go see any European wizards.
Zero sneakily hides away all the notes for the European tour.
I mean, I did make the joke about, Oasis Valley World Tour. Or, vacation.
Yeah, you also
Where
have to
I wanna
remember
be.
this is from the perspective of an American.
Yeah.
But it's like, So yeah, I'm 80. I think I'm. Did we ever actually put down how old he was? I think we did. Nope, not in that chat. We'll go with fuck it. He's 83, and if it's 1993, that puts it at like 1910.
92.
God damn, what's that like?
I stopped getting old about like old, and he says in quotation marks, around 24, 25. And then for the most part, it's just like living life and without getting the things like arthritis.
You fucker.
That's cheating.
It is.
Yeah, old Sue's at the curio show. She's like, yeah, it's fucking bullshit.
Magic affects people differently.
Although
I'm-
that's not. I didn't say how old she actually is, so she
I-
might
we-
actually be like really old.
She might be really old. But no, for the most part, it's just I have the experiences and the occasional slang that I have to keep an eye out for of an 80-year-old man.
The occasional what you slow down for?
Oh,
Got the
sometimes I speak in.
transatlantic,
I sometimes
accent.
sometimes I get into like the old 1930s Oregon slang, and I have to remember it's not the 1930s or Oregon. God, it's been so long since I've been to Oregon.
I see.
Yeah, Tommy and Hanzo, how are you handling this? These revelations?
His face is as always stone as he slip. He sips his coffee.
Magic twinks. What can you do?
Oh God, I was taking a drink there, Shady. Don't do that.
Carlos
Have
is a
you-
twink.
Is he?
Maybe
He's
was.
built. Hey, boy's built like a twink.
I just realized I've never really pictured what Carlos looks like. And in my head,
Carlos does have a model.
you're just the diner owner from that episode of The Twilight Zone with the Martians and Venusians.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, post some in the chat if you would.
Yeah, I'll find the picture.
Hold on, let me go find the picture that I made back like ages ago for Carlos.
You should
I think
be
I've still
art
got it
posting.
around. Yeah, but there's a lot of art in the art posting room.
What?
And that was a computer
Yeah,
ago.
you're not up that far.
All right, that's the one where it's like, all right, I have a gun.
I.
Oh my
What's
god,
Tommy?
that's so different than I thought.
Looks at Tommy. The fuck's a twink?
That's Australian slang.
Oh my god.
Pretty sure
What
it
type
is.
of sausage?
As for
Are you hitting on Carlos, Tommy?
No.
No, I don't think he is. I don't think Tommy's into that kind of a thing. But I don't know. Maybe you are.
I ain't saying.
Hey,
Wouldn't
what's
you
our...
like to know, Magic Boy?
Wouldn't you
as
say?
for Hanzo's reaction, it's like, I'd honestly prefer not to live forever if that meant living with my mistakes for that long.
Oh yeah, no, that's the worst part. The horrific mistakes and all of the arson. He says, goes back
So
to
much
tightening this thing in.
Yeah, you've seen him throw around quite a bit of fire, so the arson's probably not too surprising.
But no. But no, yeah, so the Moss keeps a lot of the American wizards on the down low so people don't come knocking around asking questions of like, hey, your birthday says 1920s, or and well, it's 1993 and I'm 83, so that would put me at 1910, and you're not an 83-year-old man. And keeps his in check, but also simultaneously, if I do too much magic shit and could get all of us in trouble, they come knocking, and then I have to fill out a bunch of fucking paperwork because that's the lesson they learned with me is that like they found fireproof paperwork and make me fill it out, and it teleports around
Sorry.
until I do.
You're not 100% certain or not if it might be asbestos-based paper.
That doesn't phase him at all. He grew up and lived in asbestos.
Yeah. I just realized 1910. You are 2 years older than the state, and also 1910 was the same year that my great grandma was born.
Yeah.
I was born in the asbestos, raised by it, molded by
Like
it.
I think me being this old would be more of a problem if it wasn't for the fact that we have infield.
Have what?
Oh, I don't want to call Winifred, but I know Winifred doesn't like it when I call her by her full name, so like I'm looking for new nicknames. Infield, like that one book, Dracula or whatever.
You mean Renfield?
Yeah, you mean Renfield?
Well, there's not enough R's in her name for that, so it's Enfield.
I was terribly afraid Carlos was going to admit that he's illiterate.
No,
No, don't.
He'll never admit it.
I can read.
Carlos has like
Just gonna call him by
in-game
his last name.
red stuff.
Look, I'm sorry. The last time I picked up a copy of Dracula was 50 years ago. Been a minute.
They've updated
Oh.
the edition a couple of times.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about it.
I prefer the King James version.
Mm.
King James Dracula.
Cursed things enter.
Anyway,
Yeah, Olivia, you wanted to talk to Carlos about something?
this is what you wanted to talk to him about.
Oh, okay.
This and the killing and everything, like magic.
But yeah, I suppose if you have any more questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you, but I don't know how satisfying of answers they'll be for you.
I mean, you know what you know.
And there's so much more to know. So much more.
Yeah, fuck it. Hanzo's seen it. Tommy, you smelled it, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And how about you?
Wait, who are you asking? What?
Carlos.
Smell what?
No. Tommy smelled it. But
I'm so confused.
I'm sure you saw what was going on with your new friend.
New friend.
You mean the luchador?
Who else would I mean?
It's been 2 months.
Tango.
What new person who has helped you guys out could possibly garner more of a spot in your mind than a luchadora?
I mean, like, let's be
Rawhead
fair.
Bloody Bones.
Like, I would be more worried about that if it wasn't for the fact that, like, there's a whole luchador organization on the other side of town. I've
Wait,
seen,
what?
like, 10 run around town. It's like, if it's you, cool. But, like, I also know it's, like, bad mojo to go out and say that, so...
Well, yeah, that's why I didn't tell you.
I believe the term is kayfabe, or at least that's
Yes.
American wrestling.
That is the term
Yeah.
for it, is kayfabe.
Yeah, luchador can't reveal themselves, but
I wasn't
if
gonna,
someone
like...
figures it out, that's different.
Yeah. But I also wasn't gonna call you out. It's fun to watch, Fred figure it out. He was so distressed.
Yeah, he's so obsessed with it. It's weird.
Think we should tell him?
Nah.
Nah.
Invite him and his kids to to your first match.
Oh my god, that's a great idea. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, just like mid conversation, she just starts laughing.
Okay.
Um, she pulls out the radio. Um, hey, Fred, you on? You on?
Now, Fred,
Fred is
would you have
Fred
kept
is
the
sleeping.
radio?
Fred is sleeping at a bus stop.
Yeah, would
Kind
you
of
have kept
you hear
the?
the beep of your radio. Fred,
I
Fred.
don't know if that's within fucking distance though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't
Also,
bring it, you
well,
didn't bring it.
there's also the thing of would Fred have kept it on him or like left it in his car or at home?
Also a good question.
Yeah, I'm on a family trip. I do not actually want to know about monster business today. So
That's
yeah,
no, Winifred, your eye cracks open and whatever you sleep in as you hear both your walkie-talkie, like, and Fred's doing the stereo thing from two different rooms of Olivia's voice.
She she grabs she grabs noise canceling headphones that she keeps where she sleeps and puts them on her head. Goes back to sleep. Like, nope. I'm actually gonna sleep during the day when I'm supposed to for once, you fucks.
So Fred doesn't answer.
Yeah. Oh damn, Fred's out. I'm gonna invite
like,
him and his kids to come to
Looking
one of my
at
games.
looking
I
at your
want my,
watch, you realize that
practice.
you would remember he's picking up his kids soon.
Oh yeah, his kids are coming.
Yeah. That's why I
Good for
haven't
him.
bothered him.
I'm still gonna invite him.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. The kids would love it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, like I was saying, I couldn't tell you, but I figured most of you'd figured it out. Just the kind of
Hey, look, I get it.
gray area. Ugh.
I get it. No worries.
Magic, I got a question.
Dude,
Can you like magically identify shit?
sometimes, yes. What are we needing me to take a look-see at?
Do you need to like hold on to it for a while, or
Let me go look at the use magic.
It can. The longer I have a hold of it physically, usually the better read I can get.
honestly, I don't want to be separated from it because it was it chose me.
He like you hear the sound of the tools stopping, and a head pops out and goes, Olivia, are you telling me you put on a cursed mask and you didn't even ask me before?
It's not cursed. It's
You
a
hear a
moan.
voice in the back of your head. I might be a little cursed.
Yeah.
That's not canon. He didn't actually hear her.
No, she thinks that I might be a little cursed. Not cursed. It's not cursed. The previous the previous person to wear this mask was a known quantity. It's a inheritance kind of thing, not like through family or anything. Just
Oh, like the sports thing where like you pick someone to take your stat. Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
yeah. She'll pull out the mask. So, yeah. When I put it on, I saw a fucking ghost chupacabra.
Oh, it's not cursed. Sees ghost chupacabra as soon as you put it on.
Hey,
And you would see that it is chupacabra stylized, or bat or chupacabra themed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Carlos, like me, I see it.
Gee.
I was just gonna say, if it's chupacabra themed, it's probably like majority like white leather with the red highlights for the red fur.
Yeah. She like hesitates for a second, but that's hands it to you.
It bites you.
What?
Ow, fucker.
No.
Oh. Look, that's a genuine possibility.
I know it is. I agree with you. That is. Things might bite you in this game. Surprise.
Yeah, no, that's just how it goes.
Sorry,
Does it or does it not bite him?
No. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I was making a joke, but I was being a dick.
So, I have two options for you, GM. I could do forensic divination, which would be a rolling and investigate a mystery to figure out what kind of magic was done here as an extra question.
Okay.
Or I can open up my third eye, which isn't technically, I don't think, the most applicable. It's when you read a bad situation, you can open up your third eye for a moment to take in extra information.
Okay. Yeah. You would get
Olivia,
different
we'll
results.
warn you. Before you get into it, from what I could gather, the mask goes to someone chosen by Kamazat? Mexican god of the dead.
I am familiar with Amazons in my books and learning.
Okay.
He joins the secret poker game every Thursday.
No, I'm not like that familiar with an old god Okay, so knowing that it's Camazot's, I think I'm actually going to do the read a bad situation, which I believe is sharp.
It was a very
Okay,
melody answer, Sarah. I'm impressed.
Wait, what?
It was a very melody answer. The joins our poker game every Thursday.
So, you're doing the third eye? Is that what you're doing?
So I'm going to read a bad situation while using my third eye to take in extra information. So I roll it, and if I succeed, I get a +1 hold and can see invisible things. On a miss,
Okay, yeah.
I may still get.
That's what I'm saying. You'll get two different results depending on which of those two you do.
I am doing this because it's like, oh, I have a mask that was given to me by a mysterious stranger that's got ties to the god of the dead. We're looking into that to make sure you're not cursed.
Okay. So go ahead and roll.
I don't think I get any. Yeah, we'll just do sharp.
Yeah, roll.
And I don't
read a bad situation.
Yep. And I don't have any forwards.
Good lord.
Advanced success. Okay. So you've done this before, right?
Yeah. I'd say yeah.
I'm pretty sure you have.
I've used the bat. I've used it before to open up to sources that are beyond just my normal means.
Yeah. What's it like for Carlos to do that? Is it your cassette or something independent of that?
So I'd like to think specifically for the third eye opening, the cassette does start to play music, and you can play whatever song you deem appropriate. I'll leave that up to you. But I would say there's a small line of fire that opens up into the symbol of a third eye on his forehead briefly as he looks at it.
Good lord.
Okay. And is the eye like fiery themed considering Carlos's theme?
It is hot. It is smoky. The ladies like it, I guess.
And as the three of you see this happen, that's really all that you see on your end. Just Carlos seems to do this little trick. As Carlos, you look at it and you hear over your headphones around your neck, similar to the music that's playing, not the exact track, but a very like gentle kind of Mexican sounding guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I like how that kicked in right as I said that. The it's just you get this, Mexican vibe to the music as it's going, and looking at this, the mask looks normal in your hand. You don't see anything appear, no like hidden runes or prophecies. You like open it up, look inside, turn it around, and just looks like a mask. But when you look up to Olivia, with such a high roll and just that focus, there's a moment where you think there's a chupacabra just looming over Olivia, like it's about to wrap its wing arms around her and like bite into her. But you just see this shadowy silhouette of, it's unmistakably bat-like, just kind of looming around over her. And you see her wearing the mask, but the mask looks translucent. Like, she is still wearing the mask, even though it is in your hands. You feel it. You're holding it. You're manipulating it. But it looks like she's just wearing the mask still.
Oof.
So
It's not
you
the
can
mask that's
confirm
haunted. It's her.
whatever. With that, I'd say you might get a more invested answer if you try again. Try a different approach later. But from this, holding the mask, you realize the mask was the bridge for something to latch onto her. You don't get malevolent intent, but you don't get like a benevolent feeling either. It's just something is there, something is present, and is around Olivia. You don't know if its focus is on you now, or if there is even an intent, but yeah, she's haunted.
About what I was thinking.
Maybe haunted might not be the correct term, but close enough approximation.
This bitch haunted.
And it's just that image is brief. Like, you blink your eyes again and it's back to normal.
Carlos will chuck the bat mask back to her and be like, "Good news! The mask isn't cursed."
Oh, awesome.
What's
Bad news.
Yeah, there we go. There it is.
Bad news. You opened yourself up to something, and I don't know what it is. It's not.
You, Mr. Jones.
It's not malevolent, so you should be fine for now.
But
But I don't know what it is, so I can't really, confirm that for you.
shit.
But I can confirm that something's there. And actually, I'm going to retcon him throwing the mask. Do me a favor, because I just want to see if it's possible. It'd be really funny if it was. Put your mask on from over there. Like pull it up over your head like you would putting it on.
Wait, what? You
Trust me on this. Just trust me on this.
What?
It'll be cool.
What are you telling her to do?
Oh, so since Carlos could see the spectral mask, he's theorizing that if Olivia pulls the mask on up over her head, the mask will vanish from his hands and go onto her head.
Yeah.
Um.
But he hasn't told her
So
that yet.
So make the motion.
It's still in Carlos's grasp.
Damn, I thought that might have worked. Okay. Well, you win some,
You
you
know,
lose
I
some.
will say that's not a bad idea, but it's not something she can do. You know, I'll maybe throw in a yet. Maybe.
Oh.
I that's I don't want to make any confirmation or
Yeah.
no.
No, you're good. No worries on that.
Yeah. You're good.
That feels more of a magical girl luchadora kind of thing. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's a
There is a class,
distracting
I
tangent.
think.
Anyways, no, I know there is a magical girl class. I think that's what Lydia was considering playing if she did join.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so.
But yeah. So you
Well,
hand.
Oh, well, it was worth a shot. And he just chucks the mask back at you. Should be fine.
you. All right. Well, I was hoping to get. Hey, that's better than nothing. Thanks, Carla.
Not a problem. I might be able to do more later, but I may have attracted its attention. So good luck with your giant bat friend, Camazats.
Great.
Tommy,
Yo.
you remember seeing a giant bat flying around? It stole your goat when you were having a little bit of uh, indigestion when you remember attacking people last moon hunt. So yeah, there's a giant bat flying around somewhere. I think you and Olivia talked about it briefly.
Say, Carlos,
Yeah, what's up?
how bad would it be if this Kamatos would be able to,
Amazons.
whatever, would be able to manifest in the real world and whatnot, and not just in the mindscape?
That's a good question.
I mean, you're assuming it isn't real, Tommy.
I get the vibe he's picking up.
I'm not saying it isn't real. I'm saying it's stuck to the mindscape.
Yeah. So, that's probably your mystery chupacabra is the thing that is now attached to you via the mask that you can't remove. Have fun.
Yeah, you're not sure what he means by that, Olivia, because he literally just handed you back the mask that you weren't wearing.
Yeah, eyebrow goes
He
up.
didn't exactly. You didn't specify seeing the spectral mask.
Oh, right. So, when I used the thing, he says, poking in the middle of his forehead, I saw you wearing a spectral mask. So, I think it's one of those you have to have the mask on at all times, even if you don't have the mask on at all times.
What?
Luchador thing. The
Luchador
Luchador
thing.
always has their mask.
Oh.
Thank you for making that leap, Carlos.
You're welcome. I have watched way too much Lucha Underground to not understand that.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that seems normal.
But it doesn't seem to be malevolent. It's ominous. But so's a rattlesnake. So is our friend
Rattlesnakes are
Thundar.
more afraid of you than you are of them.
But if you see ghost chupacabras, he's just saying hi.
Does Olivia remember that giant bat I was talking about?
Yeah, I caught a glimpse of it too.
I think it might be might be your friend here.
Huh. I did show up not long before before the mask showed up in my car.
I will point out it looked like a giant chupacabra, which is a notoriously not flying animal.
But it's related to a bat.
So it could
and
be.
Amazon
Again,
is
yeah, no, that's fair. I'll be real with you. I've never met a god. I make it my business not to get involved in their shenanigans.
yeah.
I'm assuming it's happening out there. Fuck, there's werewolves.
Did you
It's just
know that
funny because
they
none of you have
had
actually met
before?
a werewolf.
If God, then werewolf. If werewolf, then God.
Did you know they exist before we met them?
No, thought they were just something in the book, or maybe a pre-magic thing before the witch purges.
Yeah, Tommy, you would remember your family was very adamant about keeping that very secretive.
But also, wizards aren't real, so if we're both doing that good.
Hanzo
mean-
just silently sitting there listening to all this is just what makes this.
Mm-hmm. He has nothing to add to the conversation.
Well,
He's just listening.
thanks for the info, Carlos.
Oh yeah, no problem.
It's more info than I had before, which is it was pretty much nothing besides Camelot's.
You got a 9 to 10 foot tall giant spectral chupacabra who may or may not be identifying as Camazots following you around. There's worse things in life, I suppose.
Oh, for sure.
Little Olivia is like, I always wanted Choopy to be my best friend.
You did always
Yeah.
vibe with the Choopy stuff too. I remember when you bought that one plush over at the resale shop.
She blushes a little. I chupacabras have always been my favorite animal from the Super again.
I understand why the one tried to eat my face. I get it.
I mean,
I imagine chupacabras are like one of the most charismatic megafauna.
Yeah, they were kind of made the mascot in the case of Chewy the Chupacabra for the whole, uh, you know, advertising and stuff.
Early advertising. You know how flying foxes are said to be the biggest bats in the world? Well, they're lame.
ew.
They're
Ew.
punks next to ours.
Oh god, it's the '90s. That's how the revitalization stuff is gonna be
Oh
radical.
no.
Yeah. Oh no. So, anyways,
All right.
But yeah. No problem looking at
Appreciate
that
it.
for you. I can do more later, but probably should get this whole chest piece in so I can get these arms and legs programmed.
Yeah, not have yourself in danger of being flattened.
Well, it's fine.
At this point, it'd probably be bisected.
Yeah, with how heavy some of those springs are.
Hurry up and get done so
watch
I
out
can.
for the spring sprite.
Hurry up and get done down there so I don't have to worry about you.
It's gonna be another hour.
God damn it.
Hey, I've been working all night on this.
So, anything else you all wanted to cover before we move on?
Before the children.
Children.
I
The
think so.
children.
The children.
I'm good.
And so one little minor thing before we do. Hanzo,
Yes.
when you head back to your car eventually,
Yes.
you see the little light is flashing on your car phone, showing you have a message.
Mhm.
You think it's probably not an emergency since they didn't try your pager, but you hop in and listen to it as you hear hey Hanzo, it's Agent Wakefield. I guess just go by Johanna now. We're working together. Some bad news. I'm handling it for now. I know you have your day off, but out here in the middle of the desert, looking at a pair of some poor fools ran aground of what looks to be a, if I had to say, possibly a scorpion attack. Problem is, there's no water around. I'm seeing shearing claw, wounds and what looks to be necrotized puncture wounds. Looks to be a stinger.
All
Well,
right. All right.
and she's just sighing. As you hear the sound of like gravel crunching, you realize she's probably on her giant cell phone. But she's like, if anything serious comes up, I'm sorry, I might have to call you again. But just wanted to give you a heads up. And the call ends or the message ends.
All
With
right.
that in mind, Fred.
Hey!
So you're getting a little bit antsy. It's maybe like 5 minutes past when the bus should have been due, so you're getting all a little anxious. But thankfully for your poor heart, the bus does appear around the corner as it starts to pull into the depot, and you see the cartoonishly stretched basset hound painted on the side of the bus. As the doors swing open and a stream of people come out, greeted by people, also waiting for them. And about midway through, you recognize a taller than the last time you saw both of them, a uh, familiar pair of kids. As you see Alex and Tiffany step off the bus, and they kind of like glancing around. They have their they each got backpacks and they each have a suitcase with them, and they're looking around. And Tiffany sees you first, being the taller, and she waves, and she doesn't call out, but then you just hear "Dad" as you see Alex just kind of starts sprinting right for you.
I rush to meet them, and I hug Alex and lift him and swing him.
Yeah, he's very excited. He's definitely taller than the last time you've seen him. He's definitely at a growth spurt, but
I don't care if it strains my back.
yeah, yeah, after you put him down, there is that like twinge where it's like, oh, I'm gonna be feeling that later tonight, but it was worth it.
Mhm.
As he starts chatting your ear off, saying, and he's like, oh, it's like, can't believe it's so warm here. It's the bus took so long, and he's just rambling. They arrived pretty much on time, but he's acting like it took so long. And
Mhm.
Tiffany, joins you as she's pulling his suitcase because he left behind in the sprint, and she goes, "Here's your bag." And she like kind of scoots it over to him, but she smiles and goes and gives you a hug. Goes, "Hey, Dad."
Hey kids, Tiffany, Alex. How have you been doing?
And Alex, he starts going. He's a kind of a hyper kid, very excitable, especially after a long, boring bus ride. And he's just very excited to say, really glad they could take the break to come visit you, and he's excited to, you know, he is an excitable kid. While Tiffany, she's that teenager age where she's trying to be a little more, uh, trying to prove her maturity and being calm, but she's just grinning and she's just like, oh, you know, it's good to take an early summer vacation. It's good to sorry, I'm having trouble playing as kids.
Yeah, don't worry. Just take your time.
But they're like, so, and you have to like start walking back a bit because people are getting on and off the bus. But um, she goes, so, you still got that clunker? And
Oh
Alex goes,
yeah,
he
the
calls it the
classic.
classic. And he kind of grins when you both say the name at the same time. But Tiffany can't help but laugh at that. She goes, okay, the classic. But,
Yep, she's still serving me well after all these years. Also got a
yeah,
motorcycle.
yeah, a motorcycle? And Alex starts looking around, like looking at the parking lot.
I'm
And,
not, guys. Like it's not big enough for me to carry all your luggage, but we can go on a ride later.
oh, cool. And Tiffany was like, okay, we need to get helmets, right? And Alex is just like, oh, don't be lame. And she's
You
just like,
you will be wearing helmets. Come on, let's get you. Let's
okay.
get out of this. Let's get out of this place. Let's go on over to the house, get your stuff unloaded. You'll feel better.
Yeah. And Alex is like, yeah, I really got to go pee. I've been holding it since, what was it? What do they call it? Flagstaff? And she's like,
Yeah, the
and, he's,
bathroom's right there.
she's like, I told you just to go when we stop. And he just rushes off. And
Just
she's like
take
rolling her
her,
eyes.
and I love every moment of it. I'm with my kids.
And she's like, so she like rolls her eyes. She's like, I literally told him to go stop, use the rest stop when the bus, took a break.
He's your little brother. Listening's not gonna be a strong suit.
Yeah, I know. And she looks at you and she goes, it is good to see you again, Dad. And she goes to give you another hug. She's, you get the sense that she has genuinely missed being apart.
I hug her back, and I try to think of what to say, but it doesn't sound like a dig at their mother. Yeah, I've missed you guys too. So you've been doing well?
Oh, yeah. School's been okay. Um, she kind of goes, I did kind of get on a roll again. Um, she kind of smiles bashfully at that, But um, uh, Alex, I think, has been, he's been okay too. He's really been into, oh, I can't remember what we said he was into, TT. Like which sport he was getting into. I think it was soccer.
Yeah, it would be soccer. That sounds right.
It
I
was,
better
he's,
hockey. Those are two sports I find bearable.
just because, yeah, he's been, he's actually talking about trying out for the soccer team next year. But, so, sorry, I have a horrible time doing small talk as
Yeah,
playing as
we
children.
we can just say that it happens.
Okay, so she catches you up on, the school year, and eventually Alex joins you. You have to send him back in to wash his hands, but he joins you. Um, kids have to be taught that or told, reminded frequently. But yeah, you take them over to the car, and you said you had presents for them. Oh, but actually, as
Yeah,
you're walking to the car, she's just Tiffany kind of like pauses and just like looks over. She goes, "Dad, I don't want to like say anything, but why are those owls following us?" And like when you turn around, you see like kind of off to the side where like the plants are, off the sidewalk. You see the little burrowing owls that are just kind of like keeping pace. When you turn and look at them, they kind of scatter.
put a hand on her shoulder and say, The owls here are pretty bold. They're like seagulls and pigeons. You just gotta pay them no mind and keep on going.
And Alex is just like, "Whoa! I heard animals here were crazy."
You'll learn how to handle them.
Will be a looms in the distance.
So yeah, you get to the car and load up, get ready to take them home.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point during the ride, Alex goes, "Okay, so your roommate's a vampire, right?"
Yep. She's got a little case of vampirism.
That's so cool. Does she you help her catch people? And Tiffany reaches up from the back seat to smack him up the back of the head. She goes, "Don't say that."
Now, vampirism is woefully misunderstood. It's not like Dracula, okay? That was a very good piece of literature and a very good film with Bela Lugosi, but it was very ignorant and done as a product of its time, and we have to accept that. Vampires don't go around eating people any more than you or I do. Just because they can get sustenance doesn't mean that they do. Okay? She's got her blood substitute. Real nice lady.
Okay. And Tiffany
But if
leans
you want her
forward.
to act spooky, I bet she'll do it for you.
And he gets this like kind of grin, and Tiffany leans forward from the back seat because Alex had to take the front seat, but she's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, you better be nice. We're living in her house for a couple of weeks." And he gets this like look of just like when a kid has a realization of just like, "Uh-oh, I better behave."
And you all be on your best behavior, be nice and polite, but I'm sure you're going to be fine. Don't
Yeah, we'll
worry,
be.
all my friends are pretty chill.
And
As,
Ah,
as you kids say these days.
that's cool. Um, and Tiffany, she starts to go, "So you have friends now?" And she kind of grimaces in the mirror, and she realizes how
oh.
that sounded. She goes,
Yeah,
"Oh, and
I got a little posse. I say, completely oblivious to how pathetic that makes me sound.
she's just nodding loud." She goes, "Oh, that's good."
Thinking inside, oh, thank God. Thank God Dad's oblivious.
yeah, she is. Well, Alex just has this look of just like, "Oh, my lame dad. I love you, but wow." But yeah. So you get you show up back at the place. Alex makes a joke about, "Wow, she really lives out in the desert," but it's not too far from like some of the main roads. But it's
It's
more like,
Arizona. Everything's the desert.
yeah, it's really like at one point this house really was out in the middle of the desert, but then the city grew to get closer to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Winifred over the decades standing on our porch seeing the city grow closer, like, don't like that.
I
That
don't
one bit.
either.
Sips her new blood.
Just like the grandpa from Up.
But without the mass chainsaw murders.
um, yeah, that's what you don't see in the time skip of him and his wife's backstory.
Yeah. It was he had to get those balloons somewhere.
Come on, guys.
What does that even mean?
He
Anyways,
teams up with a bunch of people to steal their balloons. What part doesn't scan?
okay. So,
Come on, guys.
just checking because for timing, do we have another hour or is it another two? I can't. I'm not sure.
It's
Another
an
hour, right?
It's another
yeah,
hour.
another hour.
Okay.
God, the stove light threw me off. It was like, it's already 10:26. No, old time.
Fucking
Daylight
daylight savings.
savings time. Hopefully it's over. Hopefully they stop fucking doing it. I hate it.
Politicians actually do something useful.
They should have put that on their like campaign promises.
Ha,
We'll do
well,
away
that's
with
daylight
it.
savings time.
I will personally kill daylight savings times. Vote for me.
I will conduct a ritual to invoke its manifestation and kill it with a ritual dagger.
In its place, I will put 2 days off of work for everybody called Fuck Ben Franklin Day. And seriously, fuck his moldy old ass day.
God. Ugh. So,
The French would.
okay. So you pull up to the house and your kids get out with their luggage and they're just, they're looking around and Alex is just like, whoa, this place is cool. And he's looking around, like at the desert because we've established Fred and his kids are Midwesterners, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's probably, their first time being out in the desert like this. And so Alex is just like that curious kid looking around, and he seems more interested in the yard than going inside at first. But Tiffany's just looking at it. She goes, "Oh wow, this place is nice." As you start walking up to and she goes, "Oh, you weren't kidding about the bikes."
Yeah, I wasn't.
And I can't remember. Fred, did you get a sidecar?
I did get a sidecar so the kids could take like a safe ride in it, and there is a helmet. We established that.
Yeah, and you hear Alex as he catches him. He's like, "Oh, cool! You got a Robin sidecar thing."
Heck yeah!
And so he seems excited. He's talking about wanting to go on a ride, maybe later. But with a friend, you would be kind of probably. Oh, you have the noise canceling headphones on.
That's right.
So,
All right, we
Fred,
got to be quiet coming in, guys. My roommate's probably asleep.
Oh, right, sun's up. And so they are mindful. A couple of times, Alex gets a little bit loud, but once he's reminded, he does politely lower the volume. But it's hard for a kid to keep the consistent volume level.
Hell, it's difficult for some adults. Looking at my father.
Yeah.
Volume
But,
control is
yeah,
the best skill anybody has, to be fair.
So, Fred,
Mm-hmm.
a couple hours until dinner, and you're supposed to meet with Hanzo. So, what do you have planned for your kids?
First,
first day.
I give them my presents. I got my kids some great. I got Alex some good Japanimation. Urotsu Doji. Rise the Overfiend. That looked really good.
Wait a minute.
Wicked City.
No, you do not give that to him.
Oh no!
Did you hear me Googling?
I know that one by reputation. Don't.
Yeah, I was like, wait a
Ninja
minute. I've
Scroll.
heard that name. I've heard these names before. Oh boy. So Tiffany, I think, eventually catches on. She's just like, "Oh no, Dad, these won't be good."
Oh, why not? They look cool. They got this cool art style on the front. The guy told me they were great.
And Alex is just that thing of just like, yeah, like they look awesome. And Tiffany has this like pained expression of just like, oh, how do I explain this to one, my naive younger brother, and two, to my
naive
oblivious
dad.
older dad.
My naive dad.
I don't know about naive. I think more oblivious is the term.
He's a parent in the 90s during the very start of the anime boom. And he still thinks cartoons are like Hanna-Barbera, Yogi Bear shit. Because that's what he grew up with. He thinks all cartoons are Scooby-Doo. So when he
Yeah.
went there, he's like, I need some of that Japanimation. You got something to look really cool. And whatever fucking creep was at the comic book shop or the anime, store or whatever, the rare import store was like, oh, I've got some cool looking ones. And the covers just show a bunch of cool, creepy monsters and action heroes. And he's like, wow,
Yeah.
Scooby Doo's gotten great production values.
God. Yeah. Tiffany's just like, oh, what about these gifts? And she like changes the subject to the next one. She like, as Alex is distracted with whatever is next, she kind of leads over. She goes, "Oh, we need to talk without him. It's a little mature subject."
Oh. Yeah, you are getting to that age, aren't you?
She gets that like look of just like, I don't know who
If Monica
or
Front
what you
could fucking
mean.
hear you right now, she'd be fucking laughing in her little coffin bedroom. This is the most
But,
awkward shit I've ever fucking heard.
So, anything else for the kids?
Yeah. I know that we got stuff for Tiffany, but fuck, I can't remember what it was. It might have been that it's just like she's hard to shop for because she's at their age where you're not sure like her interests are still what you thought they were. So a lot of it might be a bit more generic but well-meaning. I mean, all of it's well-meaning.
I think what you might have done is gone to like the mall and gotten gift certificates, not cards.
Yeah,
certificates,
probably
because it's 1992.
Yeah, like fucking ones to like Suncoast. And is the Gap around yet, or is it just starting?
I
gotta
can't
fucking
remember.
Google the goddamn Gap. Why would you do this to me?
See, this is why I made up stores for Offbeat Melody.
Yeah, like the like one of the places you were gonna take them to eventually was Toys for All, the Toys R Us version of
1969. You're fine.
I say yeah, the Gap.
Helps if I'm on mute.
But yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, there's a lot of stuff I get to show you in town, but you just got in. You want to go get something to eat? I know this great diner.
Oh yeah, and Tiffany and I was like, actually, yeah. The only thing we've eaten really is stuff we got at the gas station when we stopped.
Well, let's go. You know what? Let's hop on the motorcycle.
So, yeah, you hop on the motorcycle. Alex gets into the sidecar. I'd say it's probably like a double sidecar.
I'm pretty sure it's big enough. Like they're both like Alex is like probably like what 12 as we decided.
Yeah, he's not a teen yet.
Yeah, and so I imagine they both can fit, even if it's not like a full-on 2-seater sidecar.
Yeah. There's both being kids, non-adults, they would both be able to fit in there.
They might be a little cramped, but that's just the childhood riding in a vehicle experience.
Oh yeah. God, I remember being the one forced to ride in the back of the family station wagon, far away from the suspension. That was a bumpy ride. But yeah, they cram in and they put on their helmets and you take off, and Alex is just ecstatic. He's like whooping all the way. You're doing good on the "I'm a great dad" checklist in Alex's case, and Tiffany. She's having a good time.
Good.
So,
despite being incredibly nervous about fucking this up, Fred is maintaining a very cool composure because if there's one thing a parent gets good at, it's pretending, or at least a good parent. One thing a good parent gets good at, it's pretending that everything is fine for the sake of the kids.
Oh yeah.
Aw.
So sorry, someone messaged me. Yeah, you. The kids seem to be having a good time, to your relief. And as you pull up to the diner, who all would be there? I know Hanzo, I kind of wrote you off as going off somewhere, or like, yeah, at least went back to your car. So you can still be there if you want. When eventually Fred pulls up with his bike and the sidecar and a pair of kids, whoever would be there besides Carlos. It's up to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I zoned out hard there for a second. What's that?
Fred just showed up with his kids at the diner, so Carlos would be there, and anyone else who wants to be at the diner to meet the kids as Fred shows
And
up to
we
get them
all
lunch.
got shotguns.
Uh,
I have
Well,
a
Tommy
Magnum,
has a
actually.
grenade.
was that Olivia?
I have a Magnum, actually.
God.
Hey, shit! Look, it's Fred and his kids.
Yeah, because you would hear the motorcycle rumble, and by this point you would kind of recognize the sound of their motorcycles because they both have the same model.
Yeah. I think
Well,
I
they
would
have-
recognize Itzels too.
Yeah. Oh, really?
What?
Well, I'll be. They are very
are
clearly his kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't
The
expect them to
son
actually have
looks
kids.
like the son has the same exact hair color. Daughter has a slightly dark, or I don't know what, has a slightly different hair color, but they're both very clearly resemble Fred in their own way.
Aw. Well, let's go embarrass the fuck out of them.
And the door swings open, the bell jingles as Fred and you and your kids walk in, and you're explaining to them it's like about the Greasy Spoon Diner.
Well. If it isn't our favorite night guard.
Hey, Olivia. I'd like you guys to meet my two kids, Alex and Tiffany.
Howdy,
This is my
hey.
friend. This is my friend Olivia. She works at the preserve. She wrangles animals all day. And this is my friend Carlos. He runs this place and also the cool little theme park out back.
Olivia like holds up her arm and like points to a scar. See this?
Uh-huh.
Snake bite.
Whoa.
That's not it. That's not even the nastiest one.
Yeah, Tommy, Hanzo, are you there too?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let introductions happen before Hanzo walks in.
Okay. So Tommy's there if you want to introduce him.
Oh, and
Fred.
there's my friend Tommy. This is my friend Tommy.
Hello.
And Alex kind of like tilts his head. He goes, because Tommy has like a large beard, right? Tommy's bearded,
I'd say more scraggly.
scruffy.
Yeah, like Shaggy.
Okay, for some reason oh wait, no, I was thinking of Drake. He was gonna say something about a Santa beard. But he goes, oh hey, they wave and say hi. But Alex seems excited to meet everybody. Tiffany seems like she's not like skeptical of everyone, but she's just like, Dad said posse. Okay. She's really trying hard not to be just. I mean, this is making her sound awful. Never mind. She just has that teenager like skepticism to everything, you know,
Yeah.
like meeting someone new.
Oh yeah.
And Alex goes and hops up onto one of the counter, you know, the bar stool counter seats, and he goes, starts spitting on it a little too fast.
Hey, be careful on that.
Is it gonna
That,
gonna spit
that,
off and
that-
launch me?
yes. Well, not launch you. You'll just fall.
And
then
then
you'll
he
get
like
hurt.
grabs onto the counter and he does that like he keeps wobbling. He's like, "Oh, whoa!" Tiffany just kind of sighs because you know that thing of a kid's just spitting until they make themselves very dizzy until they almost do fall over.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I miss that so much.
Yeah,
God, the day my spit and spin was too small for me.
I
I
okay.
miss it so fucking much. Anyways, back to raising my kids.
Uh, so, kids, how was the trip here?
good,
How old are
boring.
these two, by the way?
But
How old are these two?
Alex is 12. Tiffany was, I believe, we said 15.
15 sounds right to me.
Yeah, not old enough to drive just yet, but close.
Yeah.
But yeah, they both look like, you know, he looks like he might be getting, or no, he wouldn't be in high school yet, but yeah, she's in high school. He's still in middle school. But
How was the trip here?
and you know, Tiffany, she started to go, oh, it was okay. As Alex just goes, it was so boring. And Tiffany's like, I mean, it was very pretty driving up. Lots of, you know, it was neat seeing how the landscape changed.
Oh yeah, I've lived here all my life. It's really pretty once you get to recognize it. Trust me,
And
trust me. Wait till you see the sunset.
oh, cool. Oh yeah, that's when Dad's roommate wakes up, right? Alex goes,
Ha. Yeah. She'll be up sometimes aside from just the overnight sometimes, but it's not her preference.
and
So,
you know, Tiffany nods. Um,
we have
I
a
hear
huge
there's a lot
empire.
of vampires in this town, right?
Yeah, because nearby the superorganism, it's kind of where the technology to make their true blood came from.
And Alex like, yeah, they clone blood from it, and or well, no, they don't clone blood from it. As he starts going, he goes, I did a report for it on school.
Olivia smiles at him.
He goes,
Someone a fan of the superorganism?
oh yeah, I, yeah, it's cool. I mean, Dad works to keep it, you know, locked up, right?
You can say that, yeah.
And
I
you
do.
know, Tiffany obviously knows it's like she has that like just like nodding along, but she's like she knows she's a museum security guard basically. Again, I'm making her sound way too judgmental. I'm really not trying
She's
to.
a teenager.
She's a teenager.
Fine.
She's supposed to be.
I want Fred to have people who are actually, you know,
Trust me,
people
you're
who.
doing fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I was obsessed with the superorganism when I was younger. I mean, that's not to say I'm not a fan of it now, but now I actually, get to go and work with some critters. Oh yeah, like this scar, Moa, formerly extinct.
And he's just like, whoa, like a dinosaur? And Tiffany's just like, oh yeah, I heard the preserve like clones extinct animals.
Yeah, we only, it's a selective process. We got to make sure that the animal won't harm any other ecosystems if we bring it back. We're mostly going for recently extinct animals because they're niche in the environment hasn't quite faded, and reintroducing them could be beneficial in some cases.
That's cool. And Alex is just like, oh, it's just like the book I heard about where you clone dinosaurs, right?
Ah, Carnosaur.
Yeah, do they have dinosaurs?
Ha. Uh,
Well, if you listen to the quacks nowadays, birds are dinosaurs.
they're not
We're,
quacks.
we're 3 years out from confirmation.
Yeah, but
That
this
just
is
makes
a
him ahead
slightly
of the
different
curve and
universe.
sound like a loon.
This is a slightly different universe.
That's true. Maybe our relations are better with China than they were in 1993.
I mean, also they
Could
have
be
better
worse.
science.
I would say at this point the diner door opens.
Jesus.
There was a little bell.
How
Oh.
the fuck did you do that?
I have a bell.
What?
There's a bell.
I started looking in the soundboard and be like, how'd you do that?
I have a bell.
Oh my
You
god.
have a physical bell. Okay.
Yes.
All right, getting Foley work involved.
Yeah, Hanzo will enter. He'll immediately note the two strangers, the two children, and see how beaming Fred is. He'll put two and two together.
Hey, Hanzo, over here.
Yeah, he'll walk on over. He's not being shy.
He's
And
My friend Hanzo. He's like a secret agent. I'm kidding. He's a real cool guy, though. Hanzo, you've got that pop music, right?
I do.
My son here, he'd love to listen to some of your tracks.
they both have like skeptical doubt face when the suit says that in that voice.
Oh, hey, kids. Are you into wrestling?
Tiffany's like, she kind of like, well, Alex is just like, oh yeah.
All
I
right.
love watching wrestling, professional wrestling.
Hey, do you want to watch cooler wrestling?
What's cooler wrestling?
It's
The
called.
children think, oh no, a cool version. What adults think is a cool version of something I like. Oh no.
It's called Luchador.
And Tiffany's like,
Oh.
I think I've heard of that. And I'll
Yeah.
like, what's luchador?
There's a Luchador Foundation here in town.
Fred rubs his temples. Oh, Olivia, you don't know. I had sort of not really traumatic, but a really weird encounter of a luchador recently, and it's my kid's like, but you guys will dig it. All right, we'll go to a luchador thing.
Yeah, no, I got just the match. It's when is it, Saro?
It'll be in a day or two. I don't have an official. It's upcoming.
Okay, yeah,
Whenever it
something like
fits into the plot.
Yeah. Heard there's some new wrestlers showing up. Should be a good time.
Well, what do you think, kids? You want to go see a cool Mexican wrestling match?
Sure. It was just like that could be fun, yeah. But she goes, I also did we get something to eat? We're really hungry.
Oh,
Yeah.
you have to understand. Carlos is like, okay, so I was gonna ask what you're ordering, but like I gotta ask this. I have one guy from Wisconsin who orders all of my wonderful cheese curds, and I need to know if they're actually good or if he's just lying to my face.
And they're both like,
big
oh yeah, they're
basket
great.
of cheese curds.
There's
with,
someone
like,
else from
ranch.
Wisconsin here?
Your kids.
And your kids turn and look at you.
I mean, besides the three of us.
Well, they've never had my cheese curds. I
And
want to know
Alex
if
is like,
I'm doing well.
do you hand you put a plate up of
A
the cheese curds?
whole double
Who's-
basket.
Who's this
Ooh.
Wisconsinian that you're suspecting of falsehoods?
And Alex already has like a half a mouthful crammed in his, half a handful crammed in his mouth. He's like, I think he means you, Dad.
Oh, wait a minute.
And both of the kids seem to definitely appreciate it. Alex is, being a messy eater, and Tiffany is much more reserved, but she definitely seems hungry herself. But yeah, they approve.
Perfect. I just had to
Now
be
they will lock you in the salt mines, force you to make more.
Now I want cheese curds.
And then I don't know how much time you have, but if you need some proper food, I can get you fed.
Yeah, Hanzo, it's a couple hours yet until the reservation.
Of course, and children as young as this have more robust metabolisms.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they very gladly look over the menu, order up, whatever they
The chalupa
decide
copper.
on. Yeah, Alex definitely is like, I'm gonna do this now, but I want to try that and that, and he's like pointing at the different like crazily named things, and then some of them he's just like, oh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
sounds cool, and then
Oh, yeah.
like Fred, you look at the one he points, and you're like, oh, that would kill me from the spicy.
Well, if you're brave enough to try it, but you gotta eat every bit.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah,
Yeah, so your
they
dad's pretty
are.
alright. Your dad's pretty alright.
Yeah, my
He
dad.
got himself a motorcycle.
Yeah,
And I motioned to Olivia like, stop, don't talk me up like that.
She looks at him and
And I mouth,
smiles.
you never tell children an adult is cool. It makes them so lame.
Okay, I'm like, I am only slightly older than your daughter by like
aren't you like?
5 years, if
I
Aren't
that.
you
thought you were
like
like 28.
Is she 20? It's been a while.
She's 15.
yeah,
No,
adult
I thought Olivia was like in her like mid
Oh, my
late
daughter's
20s.
15. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, Olivia, you got a
Hey, yeah,
job at a fairly prestigious zoo.
that's
You gotta
true.
be at least your mid 20s.
Yeah, like, look. This game has been going for a while. Lots of things have
2
happened.
years, 2.5 years.
Yeah, it's great. I forget things.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's like,
I'm the
hey,
one who runs it, and I
I
forget more than all of you.
we really need to get one of us to sit down and become a note taker.
No. I refuse.
No.
So, did your dad told you any stories about his job?
No.
I mean, I don't want to bore the kids.
And
Bore them.
Tiffany goes, Mom's kind of picky about long distance calls.
Well, your dad saved some kids' lives.
And Alex is like,
And
what, really? And
Fred's eyes go wide.
the said kids are actually in the diner, by the way.
Yeah.
Manny and Rio, they're kind of sitting off in their own little booth, but they've been like kind of watching just occasionally because like, oh, Fred has kids. Like they're kind of overhearing some of the stuff. 'Cause,
She's overstating some things. Some kids fell in a ditch, that's all.
She looks like. What's the look on your face?
Carlos locks eyes with the older one, and this is why I had you guys try the cheese curds.
Yeah,
Why?
don't defend that. Don't dismiss that. It's one of the bravest things I've seen someone do after just meeting him. There was a critter who had took an interest in some kids, and your dad spooked it off.
Yeah, yep, that was just a harmless coyote. Nothing too scary. So what are you guys thinking of ordering?
What? No, you
We've been eating.
didn't. And you hear the voice of
Oh
Manny,
shit.
the boy, kind of the twins, as he kind of steps over because he's listening, as he's like, first it was the big water scorpion, and then the big white crocodile. The what was it? And he looks over at his sister, and she goes, "This here Andra."
I'm afraid you're just fucked, Fred. The kids
Yeah.
will absolutely heed other kids.
Yeah, and the
Yeah, I
kids
was
like
willing to let that one go, but they chimed in.
the twins look about the same age as Alex. You realize, around the same age, and they're like, "Yeah, your dad's, you know, he saved us from some of the things that got out of the superorganism." They're not
Fred,
mentioning Rawhead.
Fred is trying to hide it because kids are involved now, but he looks a bit mortified.
Aww.
And oh, I know how to make it worse. As their mom goes, Carla, she goes, "Oh yeah, Mr. Fred here has been very helpful around here." She's passing by with carrying someone else's order because it's the midday. It's midday. There's people. It's pretty busy.
Yeah, we're getting to that point where it's like we're probably dying down from the lunch rush, but we're not slow.
Yeah. It's not. You no longer have to be helping Hugo with the rush.
Yep.
Oh, Hugo.
And the kids nod and they're like, "Wait, no, it wasn't the Scorplodite." We go, "Yeah, it was a chupacabra. We were down by the canal riding our bikes, and the chupacabra started coming after us, and then Fred scared it off, and then there was the big crocodile, and he scared it off."
He's
Sierra,
doing a Captain Picard face palm.
and there was the other stuff. And Alex is just like wide-eyed around. She's like, "Whoa!" And he goes, "This place sounds awesome. There's monsters. There's."
Hey, they're not monsters. They're animals.
Manny and Rio kind of exchange a glance that some of you realize it's that unspoken twin communication of like, "Oh,
Yeah.
there is one monster we know about."
Yeah, but like.
Yeah, it's not something you want to drop on these kids first day. They're not even here in 5 hours. It's like, "Oh, hey, the boogeyman's real, and he knows your dad."
And some of us didn't want to drop on the kids at all, but here we are.
You work with an animal handler.
As a player, loving the drama here.
Uh-huh.
As Fred, oh no.
So, yeah, you all have some fun teasing Fred and like teasing Fred by talking him up at his kids. Like Tiffany seems skeptical, but after having like people, so many people like actually backing it up, and she's just like, "Oh wow." Well, Alex just seems enraptured by the things, and eventually, the kids are like, like, "We have our bikes, but you want to just?" They're like, "Hey, Mom, can we just walk around with Alex?" They seem like they want to hang out, and Alex is just like, "Yeah, Dad, they're gonna show me some of the desert around here." And Carly's just like, "Stay around the parking lot at least." She kind of glances over at you, Fred. She's just like,
I'll keep an eye on him, don't worry.
"Okay, thank you, Fred." And she pats your arm as she walks by, carrying someone else's order. And Tiffany kind of has this look of like, "Hmm," but that's that like suspicious teenager look. But
Well, at least she's
otherwise,
not getting that about Winifred.
yet.
We live together. Like, part of me's like, that is gonna be so fucking awkward if they start poking
And
into
they're
that one.
roommates.
They were roommates.
Oh, she'll
they're not
shut that
both
shit
together.
down real hard. So don't worry
Thank
about it.
Christ. Thank Christ. At least one of you's on my side.
So, Alex goes and goes out to start playing with Manny and Rio. They seem happy to have a friend, someone new their age to chat with and stuff. And Alex is like already seems happy to have made friends.
Olivia watches him go. Is like, man, if they find you living with, if you living with a vampire, cool. Wait till they find out that you know a lesbian vampire. He takes a drink.
And
Tiffany with a mouthful of food is like, what?
Wait, I thought Winifred was a thespian at one point.
Oh, not her.
Oh, no. She's talking about Itzel.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the
Did you say lesbian or thespian?
Yeah. No, lesbian.
Okay, I know you said lesbian, but for some reason I misheard because I was munching a crunch bar, so there's a crunchy. When Shady said, I thought Shady said,
Shady did say thespian as a joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Mitzel. I mean, she might be more than a lesbian. I actually haven't asked her, but
Yeah, she might be bi. Who knows?
yeah,
I mean, I know, but
you know. I haven't actually asked.
I don't know, God. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows about your character, God?
Who will know?
Something of me.
I wear a
In this
void.
world.
No one can see.
So how did she react to that?
she's just like nodding along. It's like, okay, cool. She doesn't seem judgy or anything about it. She's just like, wasn't expecting that to be dropped immediately in conversation casually. Like, overhear you, like, say that to yourself. It wasn't like scandalized surprise. It was just like, wait, what? Kind of surprise.
Good.
Like, you're not sure you heard right.
So, what?
She's not homophobic.
I know.
Thank you for not making my kids homophobic, despite that being period appropriate.
I mean, this world is slightly different.
Yep.
Queer rights are a little further along than they would be typically.
Yep. Just
Plus,
because
Rawhead is
I would
there
be
to scare them.
I would be uncomfortable. Oh God,
Yeah.
DZ, you just gave me a bad joke. There's less people in the closet because Rawhead's in there. They don't want to. Like, I'm not going in the closet. The boogeyman's in there.
Yeah. Why do you think I came out and like
A horrible grisly hand just rests on your shoulders. You know it's okay to be gay.
God.
These feelings you have are perfectly natural.
All right.
Unlike me, I'm very
Queer ally
Okay.
Rawhead.
Well, back in Cowboys times,
God.
it was considered a curse.
Yeah. Okay. You're not wrong.
You've
But-
lost the plot.
We've lost the
Yes,
plot. This
the
is a good
plot.
point.
Speaking of, yeah. Let me actually. You know what? Let me look at my notes again.
I mean, can we end on a better note than...
I don't think we're in just
your
yet.
ally?
I wait until Tiffany goes to the bathroom while watching the kids before I turn to the others and say, so, listen, love the attempt to hype me up. Kids don't work that way, first of all, though. And second, you're making this town sound very dangerous, and if they tell their mother that there are crocodiles and scorpions that eat children, I might not get to see my kids again.
Well, first of all, we didn't tell them about the Scorpionite and Scarandra. I intentionally kept out what it was.
Yeah, I messed up. They wouldn't have mentioned the Scorpidite. They would have mentioned the Chupacabras and the Siandra.
The big crocodile.
Yeah, I intentionally left it out because that was a bit
Okay.
much.
Yeah, let's just
I did.
we can keep the conversations about the dangerous, life-threatening antics just to a minimum a bit.
Second, God, I was her age. I know what that's like.
Okay. All right. Well, that's just my 2 cents on the matter.
Hey, no, Fred, you're kids. We're your friends. I hear ya.
Okay.
My lips were
All right.
sealed shut.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I just-
the cheese curds are going over really well, so we got that.
Yeah. You're gonna have a dinner date with somebody who you know doesn't speak unless it's absolutely
It's timely.
necessary.
Oh God, I forgot how stressful it is and how much I miss it.
Aww. Well, Fred, they're here. They're gonna hear things. Like, especially with the stuff going on recently, it might be safer if you're the one who lets them know if something's going on, and them not finding out by accident.
Or them being attacked by something beforehand without knowing the risks, things like that.
I
Yeah, are
get.
you gonna warn your kids to stay away from any shadowy cupboards?
I get where you're coming from.
My high school wide at that. Oh God. Oh, I should have told their mother to let them stay with their aunt.
Hey, Fred? No, Fred. She pulls out the totem. Hold on to this. It's the thing that kept Rawhead away. I want it back later.
I hold it in my.
Yeah, you.
Okay. Oof, magic items. That's my life now.
Yeah, right? It's fucking weird. Also, I hope you appreciate that I've been keeping the swearing down when they're here.
I do.
I'm
But
I'm
also,
going to
I mean, given their age, they're doing it as soon as we're out of earshot anyway.
Oh God, yeah.
As much as possible.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you.
I
I'm going
don't
to
think
let out a curse when the moment's funniest.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead. I don't think I swore more in my life than I did when I was 12.
They're
God,
good. They seem
so
like good
true.
kids, though.
That's when the power of swearing is the most fresh and alluring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's young little wizards finally unlocking some of their strongest spells.
Getting
And-
their focuses.
Of course, they want to spam fireball.
They seem like good kids.
I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast fireball.
You've done a good job.
Oh.
Who did your did you I know you and Eric split up, but like did she get remarried or
I think she's
And
like
as-
out of character. I think she's living like her hot bachelorette life.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
she's
you
not
established that she
married.
has a girlfriend.
No, she hasn't remarried, but she is. Well, it'll be revealed. But she has not remarried.
Like, I'm personally torn between how put together she is, or if she's just like a very different sort of mess than Fred. Like, I know that they split up because he was not ambitious enough, and she was like a sort of a high-powered businesswoman or attorney or something. I'm pretty sure she does cocaine.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but I mean, it was the. She's a businesswoman who worked in the late '80s. Of course, she did cocaine.
Yeah, she is absolutely a coke fiend.
That might have been one of the reasons why Fred was like, "Yeah, that was a mutual divorce."
Like I was not Fred was not able to keep up with this woman for a variety of reasons that might not have been entirely Fred's fault. But I also like part of me is like it'd be really funny if she was a big disaster and also kind of awful. But I also
I
am like,
mean,
but is that also like
it'd be
too
both.
mean and too justifying of what Fred is? Like, are we veering into like bad '80s romantic comedy territory with that? So I don't know. I leave it up to DM's choice.
Oh, who was it that never? Niles' fiance.
Fucking the one that gets killed in the Frasier comic.
Yeah, for some reason I
Rosalind, I
just
think, or something. It's been a while
no.
since.
That was the woman he liked. Anyways, sorry, that was a unnecessary tangent. But yeah, I have my plans
Yeah.
for her to be revealed. But so as you know, the door swings open and the bell rings. Thank you, DZ. The um kids, the trio come in after a bit, and they're like the twins seem a little uh more reserved by this, but Manny or not Manny, Alex comes in. He's like, the bugs here are huge.
What?
And
It just
Carlos is out from behind the
it
counter.
was huge, and the twins are like, what? And they're like, it's like we showed him a tarantula. It's like, oh yeah, the tarantulas too, but I saw a giant mosquito. And the twins like, oh, he
Wait,
missed
where?
that maybe. And he points outside.
I'll be back.
Um,
And she speed walk.
I'll
um,
go with her to make sure she doesn't die.
Now remember, Alex, if a giant mosquito comes up to you, you say, "Don't you drink my blood."
right.
Then
I
you
mean, it was
smack it.
just buzzing. Oh, I don't know if I want to smack this. It was big. And the twins are like, yeah, they're like they kind of like look at you like we must have missed it. Kind of
How
look.
big are we talking, big wise?
I don't know. It was flying around. It was fast. I think it was a mosquito. It was like I heard the and he does the very annoying buzzing noise. But
That is the sound they make.
but yeah, Olivia, when you go outside,
Mm-hmm.
Because people, Fred, I'm sure the rest of you were like kind of keeping watch through the window, where they're at, and it's like off to the side of the parking lot where it gets to like the uh the a more wild, empty lot kind of look. Um, since Carlos isn't like around like there's not really a lot of stuff around, but it's like one of the more overgrown areas. Not overgrown, but you look around and you do see what maybe the tarantula they were talking to, as there's just like a little, I say little, but normal sized tarantula just like slowly walking along.
Hey there,
Um,
Little
but
man.
you don't hear any buzzing, or you look around and no mosquitoes. Well,
From
you
inside, you
smack one
feel
on your arm, but it was a normal sized mosquito. It's been like a week or two since some rain, so there are mosquitoes buzzing around. They were pretty bad last night, actually, when you were like uh, dealing with the mold tortoise stuff.
you guys see Olivia run outside. You don't hear anything, but you see a giant mosquito grab her carrier off.
Oh, Moscow!
Get out!
Suddenly you get fucking pile drived by the mosquito wrestler.
Tommy,
Yo,
you followed after.
yes.
You do hear like a distant mosquito like whine, and you're not sure if like maybe one is buzzing around you, but yeah, there is like the sound of mosquitoes in the air because they especially you've had to deal with them, especially since you live around water. They've been a kind of a problem lately, but Yeah, there's like maybe he like one like zoomed past him, but
Mhm.
or there are like crane flies or whatever your local thing you call them. You know, the big things that look like mosquitoes but are just harmless fly things. Maybe
Mhm.
some one of those, but nothing really jumps out at you, thankfully.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
There's something funny going on here.
Um,
Like, the timing is too good.
If a giant turtle comes out, who's to say there's not something else following?
the two of you do hear like a buzzing, but is it not a mosquito buzzing? As you look down and see a wasp circling the tarantula.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I am
But-
not going to like what you are implying with the situation, sir.
Oh, I mean, nature is beautiful. It's a tarantula hawk. You see this large black wasp with red wings just circling this tarantula, which noticeably picks up the pace. It's just, nature in action.
Yeah. Do I know any kind of big bug like that could potentially be around from the superorganism?
There are some large insects. There are definitely some large roach-like, roach relatives that are within it, but that do fly around and kind of startle people when because it's like suddenly like, why is there a cockroach the size of a Cuban cigar flying around? Like, get away! People who
Yeah.
don't
No,
know
I mean
about
like
them get startled.
superorganism related.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. They live in the superorganism. There's a type of giant roach that's like a scavenger. But yeah, but mosquito wise, if Alex is correct in calling it a mosquito, not that you can recall.
Wouldn't
It would
make
make sense that there might be like a giant mosquito down there. There's giant vampire bats, but yep, I know where I'm trying to get to a point where we can get to a stinger moment.
Oh God.
But the
I get it.
oh come on. So yeah, you anything else you want to like look around for or discuss Olivia or Tommy before we
I
move
think
on?
I think I'm gonna stay here for the end of the session and when we pick up next time I can like do some investigating.
Yeah, same.
Okay. So rest of you, anything you wanted to say as the kids are rejoined? Fred, they seem very happy with their meal. They're like, "Thanks, Dad." Oh, thanks, Mr. Carlos.
Just Carlos.
Okay, thanks, Carlos.
No problem.
Yeah,
Just
he's
Yeah.
not old enough to be a mister yet.
He gives a smile and a nod.
And yeah, they're like, okay, but Fred, you are pleased. They do remember their manners, but they, yeah. So Fred, it's the start of the kids' vacation and their trip hanging out with you. Nothing wrong's gonna go wrong, right? Nope, not at all.
Nope.
Yeah, it's
They're
been a
gonna
good,
be
fun time.
gonna have a great time. But someone's not having a great time across the town, as trying to take a nap because sleep has been nearly impossible lately. In the middle, trying to take a nap in the middle of the day, curtains are drawn, and the fan and the AC are blowing cold. But tossing and turning, Soda Karada twists and turns on his bed, recently returned to redemption from Phoenix, as he just soaks in sweat, as every time he closes his eyes, he just sees fire. And that's where we'll end for the night.